Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Louise from the Dusty Jacket, and I'm here to get your young reader into the Halloween spirit by offering up 5 spooky books for kids. These books provide lots of ghostly fun without being too scary for your ghosts and goblins. Let's get started. First up is Dead Boy by Lauren Gale with a recommended reading age of 9 to 12. Now I know what you're thinking, but don't be fooled by the title or cover because Lauren Gale's debut novel is as sweet as it is ghoulish.
Oh boy, woo, thank goodness for that, huh? That's a relief.
Dead Boy is a story about 11-year-old Crow Darlington who's dead but somehow still alive, and he's not having a very good time of things. I mean, death stinks.
What is that smell?
But the only thing worse than the smell and the rot and things falling off is the loneliness, because all Crow wants is to be accepted and to have a friend. Dead Boy is a story about fitting in and discovering that having friends is not as important as having the right friends. Now, even though there are scenes of maggots falling out of various body parts, skin falling off, and hair falling out, it's still a fun read with an important message, even if you are dealing with... Next is The House with a Clock in Its Walls by John Bellairs with a recommended reading age of 8 to 12. This book was written in 1973 and adapted into a movie in 2018 with the same title. Although I never do this, I watched the movie before I read the book. I know, and unsurprisingly, I thought the book was much better.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Bellairs' book takes place in 1948 and has newly orphaned Louis Barnevelt on a bus and headed to New Zebedee, Michigan to live with his Uncle Jonathan. Louis is only 10, but he has a lot of questions, and those questions only increase when he gets to his uncle's house. Questions like, why is his uncle always prowling the halls after midnight, and how does the stained glass window change its image, and why are there so many clocks in the house? Like Crow, our young Louis is alone, unpopular, and basically an outcast. And no, he's not but he is desperate to make a friend and ultimately has to choose between keeping a friend and keeping a trust.
He has a choice. Will he wither or will he thrive?
This book is a ghost story that's suspenseful without being too scary, and there are instances of bullying, but otherwise a worthwhile read that reminds us that a real friendship doesn't come with conditions. At number 3 is The Old Willis Place by Mary Downing Hahn with a recommended reading age of 9 to 12. Hahn writes historical fiction, realistic fiction, and picture books, but she's best known for her ghost stories. In this book, siblings Diana and Georgie Eldridge have only 2 rules to follow.
1, 2.
Don't let anyone see you, and don't leave Oak Hill Manor. But when the new caretaker of the Old Willis Place arrives with his daughter, Diana is willing to break any rules just to have a friend. I'm sensing a friend theme here. Although there are a lot of illegal activities happening in this book, like theft, trespassing, and murder, this is still a great ghost story with a strong moral message of mercy and forgiveness. Fourth is Bunnicula by Deborah and James Howe with a recommended reading age of 7 to 10. This is the first of 7 books in the Bunnicula series and centers on the Monroe family, particularly Chester the cat and Harold the dog. Everyone in the Monroe family seems totally enamored by Bunnicula's cuteness, but not Chester. He sees right through that fluffy and fuzzy exterior and is determined to come up with a plan to save his family and everyone on the planet.
Here I come to save the day.
Bunnicula is a harmless and hilarious way to get your young reader into the Halloween spirit. The antics of Chester and Harold are entertaining and lighthearted, and the only scary thing about this book is the cover. I mean, an adorable rabbit with red eyes and fangs? Finishing up at number 5 is The Witches by Roald Dahl with a recommended reading age of 7 and up. This book is told through the eyes of a rather ordinary 7-year-old boy, but before he's 8, he's had not 1, but 2 encounters with real witches.
whoa, 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 whoa.
And he's lived to tell about it.
Unbelievable.
Told in true Roald Dahl fashion, this book gives us yet another whimsical, comical, and delightful story with a young hero who is brave, clever, and cunning, even in the most dangerous and dire of circumstances. His can-do attitude and spunk will cast a wickedly delightful spell on your heart and is sure to entrance readers of any age. The Witches does have some instances of violence, mostly against mice, and some ghoulish descriptions of the witches, but the overall lesson that it doesn't matter who you are or what you look like as long as somebody loves you makes up for it. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this spooky list. If you want to check out the full review of any of these books, we'll link our Goodreads page in the comments section below. Did any of these books strike your fancy, or do you have an idea for a spooky read? Share it in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button and make sure to click on the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and we look forward to bringing back some old titles so that you can make new memories, because any time is a good time to dust off a new favorite. Keep reading!